Hello and welcome to Transfermarkt TV. My name's Stefan Binkowski and I'm once again joined by my colleagues Ewan Robertson and Ben Littlemore. And today we are talking about Arsenal. Another emphatic win for the Gunners this weekend as they went to West Ham and won 6-0 comfortably. Headlines obviously focused around Saka's brace, Declan Rice getting a goal, Trossard scoring a goal. But Ben, you wrote a really intriguing article for Transfermarkt on Monday looking into an aspect of Mikel Arteta's tactics that some may not have noticed and in a way may have actually been the key reason behind this kind of famous win against West Ham.
Yeah, set pieces have slowly become more and more of a theme to this Arsenal team's goals over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Since probably the appointment of Nicolas Jover, the set-piece coach who Arteta brought from Man City to Arsenal when he got the first team job in when he brought him in 2021. Last season, Arsenal scored 15 goals from set pieces, which I believe is the 4th best in the Premier League. And this season, Arsenal are way out ahead. So 16 goals from set pieces in the Premier League alone. That's 3 more than the next best team, which is Everton, who have a manager, Sean Dyche, who is known for focusing his teams around set pieces. Gabriel and Saliba have been a key part of that as well. Both able to attack the ball really well from corners. Gabriel particularly, he now has 12 goals in the last 3 Premier League seasons, which is the highest for any centre-back in the Premier League division. There's been lots of different tactics. I mean, Arsenal were known in the past for conceding set pieces. The amount of set pieces I saw Mesut Ozil just hit the first the front man and go nowhere is ridiculous. And it was when other teams had set pieces that Arsenal looked vulnerable. Well, that has changed with a number of different techniques. Recently, Declan Rice has started taking the corners, which you might think is unusual. One of the taller players in the team, a player who scored a header himself from a set piece, from a free kick against Luton. But he's able to consistently whip those deliveries into the right area. And if he's doing that, the likes of Gabriel and Saliba, with their movement, are going to get Arsenal a lot of goals. And it could be a key part for the Gunners' title challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. You and Arsenal currently sitting 3rd in the league, level on points in Man City, but having played 1 extra game. I think this game this match actually, this result, intrigued quite a lot of people because, there was some murmurs that after the winter break, Arsenal might begin to look a little heavy-legged. They might begin to kind of tail off as we saw last season. But this result in particular might suggest that there's kind of more about this Arsenal team than the one that challenged for the title last season. Do you think they're maybe better equipped to challenge for the league this year rather than last year?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're certainly better equipped this season to win the league than last season. I think the experience of being in the race last season will also help what is a relatively young squad, and a lot of players, hopefully from Arsenal perspective, will have learned from that. I think the addition of Declan Rice is so key. I think he's been one of the best, if not the best player in the league this season. Incredibly consistent, doesn't really miss games, hardly ever. Even for West Ham, he's always available. And like Ben mentioned, I think his set-piece delivery has been excellent. The ball he put in from the free kick to the goal was undefendable almost. It was incredible, the whip he got on the ball. It's fascinating that seems to have taken up set-piece responsibilities more, since the kind of mini-winter break. It's also something that Arsenal do work on, as you can tell by their record of scoring goals from set pieces. I think Tony Pulis will be proud of that record, but I think Arsenal are better equipped this season to go on and win it. I think even Trossard has really stepped up in recent seasons. It gives them another option as well. I think, like I mentioned in the video last week, I think the major concern for me would be they've got a lot of hard away games in the run-in, and it'll be interesting to see how they cope with playing Champions League again and then playing the league games, because I don't think Arsenal's squad is as big as, say, Man City's definitely, but even Liverpool I think have more attacking options in their squad, and obviously they've been there and done it before under Jurgen Klopp, so they're definitely in the mix. That's 2 statement wins in the last 2 games, and they maybe silencing doubters out there.
Yeah, Ben, we actually talked about Arsenal's attack a few weeks ago on the show, and you've done a lot of work in terms of how reliant they are on forwards, but I actually wanted to maybe bring us back to defence, because you look at Arsenal on the table, they're level in points of Manchester City, but they've actually conceded fewer goals. If I'm not mistaken, at this point last season, they'd already conceded maybe like 10 or 15 extra goals of Man City, but this season they're doing better. Do you think that kind of tightening of the defence and this new ability to score goals from set pieces. Do you think that's linked, or am I just drawing bizarre conclusions there?
I think there's definitely something in that. The big noticeable change from last season to this season has been the defence. At times, Arsenal haven't looked as fluid as they did last season going forward. I think Thomas Partey missing for a long period played a huge role in that. As we mentioned, Declan Rice has been amazing, but Thomas Partey was also incredible last season. And Arsenal were creating more chances and were more clinical with the chances they were creating. However, that has changed in the last two, since we've come back really from the winter break. A 5-0 win against Crystal Palace, 6-0 win against West Ham, it's 3 past Liverpool. And it seems to me that Arsenal were timing their form a little bit better last season. As you mentioned, they tailed off a lot. Went really early, put everything into that first half of the season, and then they weren't experienced in a title race and fell off. It feels like this season they can use those experiences from last season, and it may help them go closer this season. But as we know, Man City don't drop many points. So that game Arsenal have at the Etihad in March is going to be huge, and they probably can't afford to lose it.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be so interesting to get to see how both teams do in the build-up to that match. As always, you can keep on top of everything to do with Arsenal, Man City, the Premier League in general at Transfermarkt. But before you do that, why don't you jump in the comments and let us know what you think? Do you think Arsenal are better equipped to challenge for the title this season? Could they win it because they've found this kind of new source of goals from set pieces? Let us know what you think, like and subscribe to the show as well if you can. And until next time, we'll speak to you soon.